Hi, everyone. This is Willie Crawford, and I'd like to thank you for joining us on the podcast today. You're going to really benefit from our guests. I try to bring high quality guests who can teach you how to live better, make your money go farther, make more money. And let me read what I've written here since I don't like shooting from the hip too much. Today's guest is someone who knows how to turn unused time, excess inventory, and even empty appointment slots into pure profit. John Castoro is the President and Chief Engineering Officer of the ITEX franchise serving New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. He is running actually the top performing ITEX franchise for 30 years in a row now. And he's consistently earning honors like the President's Club and the Circle of Excellence. Under John's leadership, his ITEX office has helped thousands of businesses increase sales, preserve cash, and build powerful referral networks using modern barter systems. He's trained over 1,000 business professionals and has been featured in publications like Sales Professional Magazine, The Rob Report, and even the New York Times. More than just a broker, John is a creative problem solver and a passionate connector. Whether you're a solopreneur or managing a staff of 50, he has a way of uncovering untapped assets in your business that can be converted into real value without spending a dime of cash. As an aside, I invited John onto the show because I'm personally a member of ITEX and I've enjoyed being a member for close to a decade now. So if you've ever wished that you could boost your bottom line without boosting your budget, you're in for a treat today. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Willie.
Thank you. Uh, I have jotted down a few questions I'd like to ask you, and then we can, anything else you want to share, that's perfect too. But for those who've never heard of ITEX, how do you explain what it is and how it works in plain
Okay.
English?
All right, good. That's a great question. I'm going to give you my elevator speech from the 10th floor
Okay,
to the bottom floor. At
okay.
iTex, we do three things. The first thing is we bring you new business, and it's business you do not get in the cash world. The second thing we do is we keep money in your pocket or your bank account because every time you spend an iTex dollar, you're keeping a cash dollar in your bank account. And the third thing, my favorite thing, is we enhance your business and your lifestyle, whether it's taking a limo to the airport or going to a dentist, um, or things you couldn't do or wanted to do, we find them for you on iTex. iTex is the world's largest barter company. The easiest way to explain it for me is it's another currency. All my businesses accept checks, credit cards, cash, IOUs. My businesses also accept iTex dollars. The reason they want to do that, and what you read, is they want to fill up their downtime, get more business, and save on costs.
Yes, and I first noticed ITEX actually when I noticed a local business had a decal on its window that said ITEX member, and just like a Visa or Mastercard emblem displayed on their window, and I went in and bought a lot of stuff from them actually. Um, how did you personally get involved with ITEX,
It's
and
a great,
what's kept you going?
it's a
Inspired.
great story. Well, 36 years ago, I was a builder. I built houses. And a gentleman came onto my job site and he said, I need a deck on my house. So I went over, drove to his house and figured, and this is a long time ago, so I figured the deck would cost about $3,000 for me to build it, buy the wood and everything. And he said to me, what if I could send you to Hawaii? Would you do it for that? So I kind of went home. I figured out the cost of me and my wife to go to Hawaii. And I said, you know what? It's going to cost me about 5,000 and it's only going to cost me 3,000 in labor. And so, so I was sitting in Hawaii after I built the deck. It took me 2 days to build the deck. And I was like, how did he do this? How did he buy me a $5,000 trip for a deck? And I came back and he told me about iTex. I went and met the owner of the iTex office then 35 years ago and became a salesperson for him. And in 2 years after that, I bought his business. And that's the way. So I just like all my members, I became a member. I I liked I didn't understand it, but then he explained it to me. I went and saw thousands of businesses in New York City and just fell in love with the business. And since that day, that's where it all started.
Okay, and for our listening audience, I'm here in Florida. ITEX has franchises all over the country, but we're all one big organization. So we're all in one database. For example, we can buy from each other no matter where we are in the U.S. and Canada, right?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. What kind of businesses are ideal candidates for ITEX?
It's another great question. It's a question my salespeople always ask me because they want to go get the easiest thing.
Hmm.
It's always the person, Willie. It's any business, but it's always the person. If the person understands and treats the ITEX members like they treat their cash members and does a good job, they're a great ITEX member. 30 years ago, if I was starting a barter company, I would have tried to sign printers.
Hmm.
But now printers aren't so important because everybody goes on the web now and nobody does printing. But it's every business can be a great business. And I always give out a reward every year to the number one businesses, the top 10 who do the most trade. One year it was a lawyer. The next year it was a person who sold jumpy toys, like for parties and stuff, just because he got it. He wanted more business. He wanted more iTex. Last year it was Action Distributing, which I've sold $100,000 worth of Black& and Decker tools. I
Hmm.
sold Pop Secret popcorn. We've sold Casper mattresses and pillows, things like that from a liquidator.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, I've seen some of those items. I've often thought of ordering pillows and mattresses, and a lot of the items we mentioned, you're in New Jersey, and some of the items you have to pick up locally, And so I'm
Yeah.
thinking, well, I don't want to have a mattress shipped to me, but a lot of items, a lot of the members ship anywhere in the country,
Yeah.
and
And
and in Canada,
he's in
some of
both
them,
New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. He's in
and North
Cary, North
Carolina.
Carolina.
Okay, okay. I have relatives in North Carolina, so I have to get them to check that out. Uh, can you share a few real life success stories of local businesses that use iTex to solve their cash flow problems, without revealing anything confidential, of course?
Sure, no problem. I'll share two, at least two. But the first one is I have a restaurant owner in New Jersey, and he Italian restaurant, great restaurant. He didn't understand iTex at first, and finally I kept going in there trying to explain it because he kept saying, he does over $100,000 a year in transactions, both sales. But to give you an idea, he built his website with iTex dollars, so he paid for his website with food. He had elect over $20,000 worth of electrical fixtures put in, so he got that all done on iTex.
Hmm.
He buys gifts for his daughter from a jewelry store. He travels with iTex. And the number one thing he buys is I have a chicken farmer in New Jersey.
Ah,
So he spends 4,000 a week in chicken. And so he like can't live. He honestly says, I don't know how I lived without this. He's raised his profits well over 20% just because he's buying chicken and buying advertising and buying things like that with iTex. So he's one
wow.
of mine. The second one I want to give you, and it's one that's dear to my heart, is we work with charities. So we have Ronald McDonald House, and I have no problems.
Okay,
And they've gotten over 150 to $200,000 in donations from businesses. And by the way, when a business owner in iTex donates iTex dollars to the charity, they get a cash write-off. The IRS
okay.
recognizes iTex dollars just like they do cash dollars. So it's a good thing for them and it helps the charity. So the Ronald McDonald House took these donations and they bought jewelry and things like that, and jewelry and pocketbooks and things like that. And then they had an auction and turned those iTex dollars into cash dollars to help the children.
Okay.
They've also bought advertising to raise cash donations. They've done printing of postcards to raise cash donations. So it it's dear. We do as much as we can with charities. We call it barter for a cause, which we care about charities and helping people and ITEX. Um, so they're two of my favorite ones. But I have another one that's just a funny one.
Okay.
I had a client in New York City that needed a awning, and I didn't have an awning person. So I said, okay, I'm going to meet three awning people at your restaurant tomorrow. I'm going to call them up, not tell them about barter. I'm going to have them come. The first person came. He measured the awning, looked at it, and I pitched him on ITEX. What can you do it on ITEX? And he said, well, I'm not the owner, but I'll bring it back and notice it. The second person came and didn't understand it and they left. Well, the third
Okay.
lady came and she's still a member to this day. And she said, yes, I'll do that. I need signage and I wanted some plastic surgery. And we had a plastic surgeon in New York. And I said, great. So she came, measured the awning. She said, I'll be here Monday to start it. I get back to my office and the first person went to their office and I guess their owner liked it. And he said, oh, we'll be there Monday. So now I had two people showing up on Monday to put the awning on the
Okay.
restaurant. So I called that person and said, listen, somebody else is going to do it, but I'll get you another job. And the next day we walked around New York City, me and three other salespeople, and we signed up 14 different businesses, candle shop, a chiropractor, all kinds of businesses and got and said, "Would you like to get a new awning and you could pay for it with your service or your product?" So it was a great story because we did like 12 awnings in in a couple of days. So
Yeah. You mentioned travel. I've noticed that some of the biggest items traded on barter are perishables, like advertising, where if they don't sell the today's advertising spot today, they can't sell it tomorrow. So why
mm,
not trade, and then like hotel accommodations and timeshares and things like that. I personally am uh, saving up to buy some land or a house, and I've seen both of those offered on barter. So
right.
I've seen almost everything that you can imagine that's legal offered on barter. In fact, so
Mm.
that's pretty powerful. What are some of the surprising things that you've seen ITEX members offer on barter?
Well, right now I'm offering. We do a lot, like you said, tw maybe 15% of my business is advertising. It used to be more, but people, I have the New York Times, I have the Wall Street Journal, and I know USA Today. Plus billboards and things like that,
Okay,
throughout the Northeast and even in Florida. Um, so, and the other thing you mentioned is land. Land we've sold probably millions of dollars. I have land offered right now I cannot remember what state it's in. It's down south. It might be Georgia. In
okay,
Georgia, on a golf course, on all ready to go. Like the guy sells lots. You just have to pay for the title insurance or whatever that he needs. But it's I sold a bridge to a golf course. I don't want to sound like that.
rich.
Uh, I, I had a guy that was a carpenter and he built a 20-foot bridge for a golf course for golf carts to ride over.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not as good as selling the Brooklyn Bridge, but it was
No, I actually know a guy who sold the Brooklyn Bridge. His name was Paul Hartunian. And the story is he was watching the news one day and saw they were refurbishing the Brooklyn Bridge. So he called and asked them what were they going to do with the old wood from the bridge. And they said nothing. He asked if they would deliver it to his house. They said sure. So he had them deliver trucks full of debris, basically. And then he advertised pieces of the Brooklyn Bridge for sale
Oh,
and sold
really?
it. So
Yeah.
that and he was on the Johnny Carson show for doing that. He was teaching me how to get free publicity, basically, though. And so I know a guy who sold the Brooklyn Bridge.
That's great.
Yeah. How does someone actually get credits or use the credits they get in
Mhm.
their day-to-day operations?
Well, there's two. When they open an account, it's just like opening a bank account, Willie. We get their information, their tax ID number, um, their credit card for the fees, which we'll mention. But
Okay.
we also give every member a $2,500 credit line. to get started. So they can start looking at our website, see what we have, talk to my trade directors, and get a plan going on their spending. I'm always, and then it's our job to bring them new business. So I tell people all the time, so we bring them business, and they don't have to use. A lot of people think they have to use the person that they're doing the business. No, if Willie Crawford needs to travel, the travel company doesn't have to use Willie Crawford. They buy advertising. Then the advertiser buys a vacation. The vacation guy buys an electrician, and so on and so forth. So it's just debits and credits, just like it is in the cash world. Um, we try to bring people as much business as we can. I tell members who join all the time that it's opposite than cash. In the cash world, we all know it's hard to get business and easy to spend it. In the
Yes.
barter world, it's opposite. It's easy to get business because we do it for you. We find you that business. You don't have to advertise. You don't have to call people. We call people for you.
Right.
It's harder to spend it. We don't have everything. So you got to work at spending it. And I always tell my members, isn't it more fun to spend money than it is to try to get money? So the money's there. If you look at the website, call your trade director, we work for you. I know I have a member looking for implants. So we're calling now people looking for implants, that are
Right.
getting implants. And we have
And
a
that
person in New York, but we're looking for a person in that area. So
yeah, that brings up another point is that we have the searchable database within ITEX where we can look at what our members offer, but there are some members who don't want to be flooded with, people looking for, say, dentistry, for example. So offers like that where the professional is just supposed to offer a few slots a month or whatever, they turn to you guys and say, you know, find this many customers for us. And
correct.
then that's how you guys work that, right?
Correct. Yes. Even restaurants will say, listen, I'm crowded on Friday and Saturday nights. So I don't offer Friday and Saturday nights because
Okay.
that's I don't want to take cash business from anybody. I just want to bring them 10 to 15% new business every year.
Okay. So they have what they are called broker managed accounts, right?
They are. But we only have a few broker managed
Okay.
accounts. We only have a
Okay.
few. We urge our members to email or call us first, and then we'll put the two together. We'll send an email to both people saying this person would like to use you. Is that okay? And we
Okay.
follow up.
Because if I would have called some dentist out of the blue who maybe was a member of ITEX, they might deny offering on trade because cash is king for certain
Right.
things, still.
Yeah,
But
we work with every single member and kind of we try to learn what they're looking to give on iTex. We can't give, we understand the jeweler can't give a $20,000 diamond ring, because he has 18,000 cash in it involved.
yes,
So, but I'll go to the jeweler. I have a jeweler not far from me. I'll go to him and pick up, you know, $10,000 worth of different pieces and be able to sell them and stuff and things like that.
I've noticed a lot of our members do sell things like jewelry, and they sell new and used things. I guess
Mhm.
the used things that we use the term vintage.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I read that I go, that's used. But
Yeah.
one man's junk is another man's treasure. I
Yeah,
see a
and it's
lot of
funny, Willie, because you mentioned we have offices all over. Like obviously New York and Florida and Connecticut. There's not too much of that going on, but like Nebraska and Utah, it's a different, it's just a different way to trade. They get a lot of things that I may not offer to my members just because, and I get things that they don't want to know about. Like they don't want to know about the $20,000 ring, so
right.
it's funny because we have some members, my top, I think I told you, my top member does over $1 million in sales every year, and he spends $950,000 of that million. He spends
Wow.
95% of it every year. But he works at spending. You know, he
Yes.
he'll find what he needs. He'll call me for everything. But I like to tell members, and I probably told you this, is when you join ITEX. put my business card in your wallet. And every time you're going to buy something online or and say, should I call my trade director and see if they have this? And then, because people get business cards printed, and I have 20 people across the country that print business cards, so,
Yes, yes.
so like,
Yeah, so we can get business cards and stationery and stuff like that on iTex
correct.
easily. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've noticed a lot of electronics, printers and ink
Yeah.
for your printer and all kinds of things. Um, let's see. Um, how do you support members after they join? I know you call and discuss with them things they might want to offer for sale and things that ask them things that they need for their personal or business lives. Do you offer any type of training though doing barter?
Training the members.
Yeah, coaching, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I tried to run some Zoom meetings like this, but not, business owners are small business owners especially are busy people, and
Okay. Yeah.
I can never get enough in the same room. We try to, when they join, we call it an orientation call. We try to get 10 minutes of their time, show them how to go around the website,
Okay.
Dee Patel in my office, she does that training. I also have
Okay.
some other people just calling people and say, what do you have and what do you need? So we know and we put it in our notes. Our system's really good. So we know we could put in haves, we could put in wants, and we know like if I get in New York, if I get New York Yankee tickets today, well, it's the All-Star weekend. If I get New York Yankee tickets this week, I know 20 people who want them. So I send them
Mhm.
to them 20 because I know a couple hundred people who don't want them. So I only
Yes.
send them to that 20 people sometimes. So,
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Now, I've seen both a Facebook group and I've seen other things related to iText too. In fact, I remember you put out a directory of members that I was listed in. It was maybe 2 years ago. So do you do that periodically still?
I, I do send it out on a form. I'll send it, but I mostly do it to members when they ask for it. I don't print them anymore because it changes so fast. You know,
Okay.
I bring in new members every day, honestly. I'll bring in at least one member. And so like I don't want to exclude them from the directory because if they get one and don't see their name in it, the reason I
Okay.
don't show the directory to prospects yet is because one reason is because what you said, I don't want them getting calls and they're not even an ITEX member yet.
Okay.
And
Okay.
because they'll call and say, "Oh, I'm thinking of joining ITEX. Can you come do my swimming pool?" You know, and
Yeah.
for that reason, and the other reason, Willie, is because I always noticed, like, if I'm talking to an HVAC contractor, when
Right.
he gets the directory, he looks at the other HVAC contractors
Oh,
and he forms his opinion on that because he knows about it. So.
yes. Yeah. Now, pricing. I know that we are supposed to charge each other the standard retail price. We're not supposed to price gouge or anything like that. And I know there's a lot of trust among members. Are we supposed to charge just ITEX dollars, barter dollars, or can we
Or
charge cash?
So that's twofold question. The first part of the question, yes, you're supposed to charge your retail price and be fair. And sometimes, people are people. Sometimes, like I had an electrician go to somebody's house and they wanted $6,000 and she got a price of $3,000
Mm,
from another electrician. So I told, send me the quote. I always ask for it in writing because I don't want to assume anything. And I'll
yes.
call my electrician and say, I don't know if you're figuring like gold wiring or something, but you're double the price of this quote here. And I sent it to him and and I said he didn't do the job. I got another electrician for her to do the job. So we try to police it like that. But I
Okay.
also tell people, listen, if the electrician gives you a price of 3,500 in ITEX and you got a price of $3,000 in cash, that's your decision. Do you want to spend $3,000 cash or do you want to and keep that $3,000 cash in your bank account and spend out of your ITEX bank account $3,500. So we work with people and try the best we can to be as as lenient but as strict as possible.
Okay, but
And
so we
then
aren't supposed to price gouge.
right, and yes, yeah, we avoid price gouging. In fact, we have a rating system on our website. I don't know if you know that.
I've
So
seen
we
it, yeah.
tell people, I especially tell people, when you're not happy, write a rating. I'm okay. I want people to read the ratings because I know eventually it'll make members trade right, you know. The second part of your asked me about, we have a rule in ITEX, the first $5,000 of any job is supposed to be 100% ITEX.
Okay.
So because we can't expect the guy to sell the $20,000 diamond ring when he has it, but if he could sell it for 10,000 ITEX, 10,000 cash, and it's worth $20,000, it's still a good deal for somebody if they're looking for a $20,000 ring. Um,
But that carpenter, that optometrist, that certain people have hard costs though for their supplies. Can they charge cash for the supplies and ITEX for the labor?
I well, I try not to. Like I
Okay.
try to get as many people to do as much ITEX as they can, but there are a couple like contractors. If you're a plumber and you're going to do somebody's house, I can't expect and put a new toilet in. They're not going to go buy a toilet at Home Depot. So what we tell the member is, you buy the toilet, the guy will come and install it and do the pipe,
Okay.
So
It'd
and
be
the
the same
same
for a
with
mechanic.
yeah, the same with a mechanic. If a mechanic, if you want to get a new engine in your car, they're not going to be able to afford to put a new engine in the car.
Yeah.
So, but we work with people. We try our best to get them, of course, the most ITEX for our member that we can.
Okay.
And we try to understand. But we don't, the two things we don't let happen is I don't like restaurants charge cash for the tip. I'm not trying to take away money from them. So, you know, the meal is in trade, but the tip is in cash.
And another thing in the world of barter is we have what's it called? Restaurants and other businesses can issue script. They
Right.
can sell gift certificates, and so
Correct.
that's a good way for a business to raise money. Is just
Correct.
sell the gift certificate, which may never even be redeemed.
Correct. Yeah. And they get the restaurant gets the breakage. So if they buy $100 gift certificate and the meal was $89, I pay the restaurant up front for them
Okay.
gift certificates. So when I sell them to you on iTex, we the restaurant gets the breakage. We make sure that that everything is on tax and tip is in cash.
Okay.
Shipping charges for hard items are in cash because shipping's and I know that believe me, every day I work on shipping charges because I'm trying to bring them down,
Yes.
because it's hard to get you're in Florida. If I sell you a simple thing, a backpack or something, I don't want you to pay the same price in shipping as it costs you for the backpack. So,
Yeah. I grow plants, trees,
right,
tropical plants, and I sell those. And there I've got to ship priority mail or express because the plant's going to die if it sits in a post office for
right,
a week or weekend when it's really hot. So yeah, I certainly understand the shipping cost and something that's really heavy. I noticed you can work with the seller to find the least expensive way to ship it. Maybe
right,
get a
right,
trucking company or something to move it. But
right.
I see a lot of things on iText that I want. I've noticed a lot of cars, for example. I guess we have members that have cars they're not using, and they go, "Well, I may as well sell it."
Correct. I have one member in New Jersey he actually builds sunrooms. He does
Hmm.
them, they're anywhere from 30,000 to 130,000. He
Oh,
builds them, he builds them half iTex, half cash. They're beautiful when he's done with it because he has the cost of all the material.
right.
On the side, he fixes up cars. So he'll give me a
Oh, okay.
car. Like he gave
Yeah.
me an Audi I have for sale now, to sell.
So I see iText as a good way to get rid of slow moving items too.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
That's our when I walk into And here's another funny story about a member. I walked into a printer in New York City, and it was a huge printer. He did billboard printing, which I needed because I was selling billboards. And I was walking around and I saw a copier that was unplugged, or a printing machine that was unplugged.
Mm,
And I said to him, "Oh, what's that printing machine?" He said, "Oh, we got a new one. It's a good one, but I'm going to try to sell it, but they're hard to sell because they're expensive." I called up D and I said, "D," I took a picture of the printer. I said, "While I'm here at this meeting," I didn't tell him. I said, "I'm going to sign him up. See if you can sell this. Somebody wants this machine." So she called a bunch of people, sold the machine for $15,000. And I
mm,
sat in the meeting. I said, "Okay, that machine out there, what would you sell for cash?" He goes, "I don't know. I probably take 8,000. It's worth 20."
mm.
And I said, I have it sold for you right now at $15,000." And he said, "Really?" And so he had $15,000 in his account that day.
Wow. Yeah. And he can use that for something he needs to operate his business or his personal life.
Yeah,
Uh, I bought large screen TVs and lawn furniture and all kinds of stuff,
right.
and on iTex. And so, yeah, I guess it's better to spend it on business expenses so they're tax
No, not
deductible.
really. Like
No?
I'll be honest with Willie, I like to tell people you could build wealth. Like I buy artwork. I buy
Okay.
sports memorabilia. I buy no, I buy the sports memorabilia. In fact, I just got to meet one of my I went to a thing Saturday night and I met Lawrence Taylor. And
Okay.
I'm a New York Giant fan, so Lawrence Taylor is my and I had him sign a picture. So I'm gonna bring it and give it to a charity for ITEX dollars that they could go raffle that off for cash.
Okay.
I'm not looking to get the cash out of it. I didn't want to get his signature for that. But you can build wealth with ITEX. You can, it's not, I have a unit, storage unit of artwork, but I keep it there because it's always nice to have.
Yes. And I was actually trained that when you sell something that doesn't have a fixed value, like paintings or whatever, those are actually good items to offer on iTex because, people have it in mind a certain value for some items, but
Right,
paintings it's not it's intrinsic. Yeah.
right. It's the same with jewelry. I tell people when they buy jewelry, they say, "Oh, I think it's not worth it if I have it appraised." I say, you should buy jewelry if you love it. If you're going to
Mm,
wear it and you love it. I don't know. I wear an Italian horn. I don't know. I think I paid $10 for it, but I like
mm.
it, so I wear
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of artwork actually offered on iTex, and I notice we have members who are also painters who, you know,
Yes.
you can send them a picture of your mother or whatever, they'll do a painting,
Yes.
oil
Yeah, we
paintings and
have
stuff.
we
So,
we have a lot of things for things like that. Like we have people that will turn old film into CDs so you can
okay.
keep them all and really that's about the third thing I said in the beginning. I want you to have a better life. I want my members to say, I got to do this because of ITEX. I got to go on a trip. I got to take a limo. You know, my son was having a 10th birthday party a long time ago when I first started. And so I rented a big limo and on ITEX. I took him to an ITEX pizza parlor. They had
Hmm.
pizza. And then I took him to the beach. So for maybe $4,000 ITEX, it was like a party that nobody, he brought 14 boys with him and they played football on the beach for a half hour. And it was great, I always say to people, like, use it to make your life better. If you want to go somewhere, let me help you try to achieve that.
And I'm the same way. I An item that I plan on buying on iTex using iTex is flight lessons. I was in the Air Force, but I want to upgrade my flying skills, and I've noticed we have a local member
Yes,
that
thank
offers
you.
flying lessons,
Yes,
and also I like deep sea fishing. I've noticed charter fishing
yes,
offered
so
on
do I.
iTex. And in fact, my area, even like jet skis and all those types of things, water parks,
Right.
I've seen all that on iTex. So, yeah, I could take my grandkids and do a lot of things with them. And the benefit of using iTex is I sell a lot of things that are digital goods where I have no fixed hard costs.
Right,
Even something like web hosting, you know, I'm selling space on a server,
mhm,
with not that many real hard costs, but I know that what it sells for in the brick and mortar world at the same time.
right,
So ITEX lets you um, get more for your goods and services at times, you
right.
know. Yeah.
And Willie, what you said is right. I just want to correct you on one thing. I know
Okay.
there's no hard cost to it, but your experience is your hard cost.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Your learning, your experience. I get people that call me every once in a while and say, well, the dentist it really doesn't have a hard cost because teeth don't cost, but he charges so much money. I said, they went to 8 years of school. You know,
yeah.
they paid their hard cost up front. You
Yeah,
know,
I've been in business on the internet since 1996. So
right,
uh, I charge, up to like $10,000 for coaching at times, and it's they're not paying for my time, they're paying for my experience. And in fact, an item I'm going to start offering on iTex is artificial intelligence.
yeah,
Implementation. There's so many things you can do with artificial intelligence that can cut your business expenses. You can automate so many processes, and most people are intimidated by it. And there is a learning curve. But I've taken the time to go through that learning curve, so that's something I plan on starting off with
and you
soon.
should because I do have I did it. I did a course on ITEX on artificial intelligence.
Okay.
It was 1.5 hours a week for like 9 weeks. And
Okay.
I use it. I write a letter every Monday morning using artificial intelligence,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know, and
Yeah.
I just use it because I'm building a new website for charities that it's a I actually just it says barter for barter for charities or barter for a cause.
Okay.
So I put in, can you give me a logo on charities, and they came out with great logos. So
Oh
it
yeah. Oh yeah.
does save you time.
But I mean, it's so powerful. You can with artificial, and we're getting off
Yeah.
a tangent now, but you can do like customer service. You can have somebody fill out a form, and the artificial intelligence looks into your FAQ database and finds the answer and gives it to them right away. It can schedule people onto your calendar. It can actually make phone calls for you if you can set it up to do that.
I
It's
know.
really powerful. I mean, it can reason, it can make decisions on its own if
Right.
you know, you set the guardrails.
As a salesperson, probably scared you a little bit in the beginning because I'm a salesperson. It scared me a little bit. But you have to want it.
What was a salesperson? If you have like telephone salespeople, you can have artificial intelligence, what they call co-pilot, which the person can have the answer pulls up on the screen, pull up on the screen, and when somebody asks a question, they don't know the answer or they need a quote or whatever, they can pull it up using artificial intelligence and then
Right.
just give it back out.
Right.
So they're using intelligence to search the internet at times, the entire internet at times, and then give them the answer they need to give the person on the phone. So it's extremely powerful. So anyway, that's an item. You mentioned the value is
Mhm.
the experience, and so
Right.
I would encourage people who have experience, all kinds of talents and skills, to offer those. I took a course in poker on
Right.
ITEX. It's a good hand, what's a good bet, and I've taken several courses via ITEX members.
Right.
So there's all kinds of goods and services they can offer. Uh, I don't want this to run too long, so what I
Mhm.
wanted to now see if I didn't ask about something that you want to mention.
No, I think you covered it pretty well. I mean, I, I, I do, there is a cost to our service, and I never want to not tell people about that, but
Right, right,
we charge $25 cash and $15 a cycle, a 4-week cycle to be a member, and then 6% on every transaction when they first come into the system. We work hard for our money. We really do. We're out
right.
bringing in new members. Um, He's working 9, 10 hours a day on
Wow.
answering emails and finding what people want. And so our website is, I think, is outstanding. I want our members and our prospects to look at them more. Um, we offer referral based business. I want my members involved, and I try to tell ITEX members the referrals can only help you. It gives
Right.
you more opportunity because it maybe you won't use the referral you give me, but that guy will give me a referral that you may use.
And
So
the more members we have, the more people, the greater the variety of potential variety of goods we have too. So I can find more things on iTex, more different things, rare things,
right.
that maybe are only offered in the brick and mortar world at times. I don't know. I've seen people offer wedding, to officiate at weddings
Oh
and
yeah.
marriages or funerals and things
Uh,
like that. So
right.
it's any talent, any skill you have can probably be sold for barter dollars, and then you turn around and spend those dollars on something that you need.
Correct.
A lot of businesses fail because of cash flow issues, and so this is a way to ease those cash flow issues.
Right.
Spend high tax rather than spending cash. Use
Right.
your
And
cash
that
for
and
something.
Willie, I want to make sure that's what I tell when I go see a person, I say to them, it's not about trading. It's not about like what can I get or how much can you, it's about making your business better. I do a little thing with my hands, if you can see it. Every business
I can
works
see it.
during
Yeah.
the year, and at the end of the month, they pay their bills, they pay their rent, they pay their employees, they pay their utilities, they pay their taxes, and at the end of the month, they have a little bit left, and they like to call that profit. Hopefully, they have a little bit left.
Yes.
When you join ITEX, you still got to do all that. You still got to pay. But when you get down to these miscellaneous items, when it's about here, we're going to try to pay some of those with ITEX. Whether it's uh, um, repairs or a copy machine or things like that that you need. So at the end of the month, you have this much profit instead of this much. So
Even things like
really
janitorial services. That's what it just was at. Every business needs to have janitors come in. Restaurants need to have their equipment cleaned.
cleaning, yeah,
That's, yeah.
I do window cleaning. We have people like do that. So and a lot of people get things exterminators for restaurants,
Hmm.
for businesses, a lot houses even exterminators. Everybody should have, in Florida, you should have your house exterminated every year, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Um, but iTex really does work. Yes, you have to work at it. It's like joining a gym. If you join a gym and you don't show up, you don't get results. If you
Right.
join iTex and you call your trade director and you look at the website and you look at your emails, it'll work. You have to invest. I ask members when they have money in their account and they don't know what to do with it. I say, give me 20 minutes a week. 20 minutes, look at my emails, put them in a folder, and I guarantee you'll start spending the money. Or send me your credit card statement, what you're
Mhm.
buying, and I'll look at
Yes.
it and see what I got that you can buy it with me instead.
Yes. Yes. That's a good thing to do. In fact, I had a friend that was big into iTex, and he offered to do a line item evaluation. The business showed him what they were spending, and he showed them you can buy this on iTex. He
Right.
did that as a service, actually. He said, "Let me show you how to reduce your
Oh, that's
expenses."
great.
Yeah, and
And the other thing is we have the holidays right around the corner already, less than 6 months away. A lot of, you know, if you think about the holidays all year long of how much spend money you said you have grandchildren, where am I spending this money on my grandchildren? Buy things when they're available. I
right.
iText Barter moves fast. I only have so much of it. So when it's available, buy it. If it's something that you think you're going to use in the future, buy it now. Buy the Christmas gifts for the kids. Get your holiday cards ordered now. You know, hire a
The only
photographer.
I was thinking travel. You can't really lock in like accommodations, hotel rooms, things like that too far in advance because the iTex member who's selling that,
Mhm.
they are offering you the excess capacity. So
Correct.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
they
I
may
have
have,
a story about that I could tell you. Donald Trump was a member before he was president, the first
okay.
time. So I had Trump hotels in New York City. I met him 3 times, and I met. he was a lot younger then, and he
Yes.
said, I was at Trump Hotel on Columbus Circle, and he said, I did my whole pitch, and he said, oh, I understand. What if I give you my suites? And this is in
Mm,
1980s, 1 week out. You think you can sell them? Because I'm not renting them for back in the 80s for $1,200 a night. I'm not going to rent them if they're 1 week out. And I said, I could
right.
try, and I, of course I did because everybody wanted to go there then. And he bought carpet cleaning and advertising and
Ah,
things like that. But he understood it right away. He understood that I'm not going to be able to sell these hotel rooms. And guess the cost of a hotel room being sold or not being sold is like $12 a night. Because
right.
that just means the maid has to go in there and make the bed and clean up the place. The heat's still on, everything else, the lights are still on, everything else is still on. So he understood I'm getting full retail value for this hotel room a week out.
And
So
not only that, but like when restaurants sell like meal certificates or whatever, they know the person who's getting the certificates going to bring some other people with them. Uh,
absolutely.
a hotel knows that when somebody stays at the hotel, while they may be using barter or trade for the room,
Right.
they're probably going to eat in the restaurant or buy stuff in the gift shop. So they're
Right.
going to make cash from that.
And really, Willie, that's every business, whether it's a sales coach or an electrician. If you do a good job, the no, you'll get more business from it. You do a good job and treat people the golden rule, treat people like they want to be treated, they'll recommend you.
Mm.
And that's how I feel. I feel like we've helped thousands of businesses, new businesses, get to the next level.
And I understand the world of barter better than the average citizen does,
Yes,
especially
you
the
do.
history. You know, I know that Carnival Cruise Line launched by them buying a beat up old ship and fixing it up and then trading uh, suites or rooms, allowing radio stations to give them away in contest in
Mhm.
exchange for them advertising Carnival Cruise. That's how
And they
Carnival got
still do it.
launched.
They still
They
do
still do it.
it.
Okay. And I know that, if a radio station is giving away a car in some contest or a stereo system, they
Mhm.
probably did that on trade. They bartered with the business for the car. And they went to a car dealer and said, what's not selling fast? And can
Right,
you give us that and we'll give you advertising?
right.
So I understand that. Which another question I will bring up, but probably shouldn't, is we're offering goods and services in the US and Canada, but you have the ability also to reach across to barter organizations in other areas or countries, don't you?
Well, I actually, it's funny. Well, I actually started ITEX in Panama
Oh, okay.
and I lived in Panama for 4 years.
Okay.
I signed over 200 members in Panama. It it was good, and we did good. They understood barter because of their banks got closed when Noriega shut the banks down. So they understood
Okay.
how to trade. They just didn't understand how to pay their bills, but they did understand that they could trade. So it was good. We we don't do a lot overseas, mainly because of the it's a lot of different steps. We do a lot with Canada. We do a little bit with Mexico. We get a lot of Mexican resorts.
Okay. I've
Um,
noticed that actually. Yeah.
yeah, because they want advertising in the United States. So that's what
Okay.
that's what we try to sell them. I've done deals with DoubleTree and I've done deals with Marriott, you know, properties to where they'll buy $100,000 of a due bill for advertising and all.
Okay.
But we get a little bit. I had a house in France, but it was from one of my members. One of my
Yes.
members had a house in France and they offered it
Okay.
for like 6 weeks back and forth. So, but not
Okay.
much with other barter companies.
Okay. I understand. I understand. So uh, I want to go ahead and encourage people to who are appropriate, to join ITEX. And for that, the way we work it actually is when a member wants to recommend another business, we go on the site, log in, and we fill out a form, and that form asks for that person's first and last name, their
Mhm.
business name, their phone number, which can be a personal or business phone number. It looks more professional, use a business number, and their business or personal email address. And when I fill out that form, it triggers an invitation to that individual and also notifies ITEX. And that's where you are going to be calling them, and
Mhm. Right away.
discussing things right
When I
away.
get
Okay.
when I get that form, I send them an email and try to set up a Zoom meeting.
Okay. Okay. And so any member interested in joining ITEX, I'm going to post this numerous places, like on YouTube and places where it's the video. Uh, I will have a description underneath it. So I'll tell them there how to do it. And with that, we can make you a member.
That is right. Correct. It's
Did I
free to
leave anything
join.
out
It's
there?
mentioned that it's free to join also.
It's free to join.
Yeah.
There is, you mentioned a monthly fee
Mhm.
or a cycle fee of, was it $25 and
$25 cash, $10 trade.
$10 in trade? Okay. And but that's not due until after a month anyway. So
Yeah.
you can
Actually, I've actually extended it to 2 months, to two
2 months.
cycles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can actually join, look around, and
Right.
if you don't pay after 2 months, then we'll kick you out.
Well,
But by then you
I'll
should.
definitely call them if they don't trade after the first month.
Oh, okay. They can trade with me. I have some nice plants and goods and services. And if you don't understand artificial intelligence, I do plan on offering some training on that, or can actually build you what we call agents that will do things in your business for you. Automate a lot of things. And so, yeah, there's all kinds of goods and services there. I want you as a member. So, reach out to me. So I want to go ahead and thank you, John, and I want to thank your entire team. I've frequently received emails from D, actually, you and D. That's another thing I should mention is when John notices a good offer, he will send out an email to the members, making sure you don't miss that. Because the way we do it, a lot of things is we'll go into the membership site and do a listing. We'll list our item for sale, but
For sure.
you're only going to see that if you log into the site and look. And the newer listings, there's a category, new listings, but John will and or his team members will notice something for sale, and they will send out an email broadcast alerting you. And I get those. That's how I find out about cars and land and things like that. Property resorts in Mexico, and I take advantage of a lot of those things. I plan on taking advantage a lot more since I want to work less and as I get older, and yet I want to enjoy life. And so iTex lets me do that.
Good. And you should.
Thank you, John.
All right. Thank you, Willie. Thanks for being a great member too.
Yes, sir.
All
You have a
right.
good day.
Take care.